My name is Hope Whitestone. I am a biomedical engineering undergraduate here at the University of Cincinnati. During my education, I have observed that although we have been taught to account for user needs when designing new medical devices, the perspectives of actual disabled people are often left out. This is a glaring deficiency since medical technologies almost always seek to treat problems that are closely tied to disabilities. To address this deficiency, I've been creating this catalog of disability content along with my professor, Dr. Gordon, so that disabled perspectives and ethics can be more easily integrated into our existing BME curriculum. The catalog supports teaching the social model of disability along the medical model and gives examples of disability history, ethics, and lived experience with the intention of training user-centered, empathetic engineers. The genesis for this catalog began with a study of the book Against Techno-Ableism by Ashley Shue, pictured right under my novel Innovation. In it, the author asks, what do technologies mean to people? What role do they play in people's lives? How does the built environment include or fail to include people? How do people identify with and resist technological intervention? How and when do people decide to adopt or use particular technologies such as prosthesis? These questions should not be the exclusive province of abstract philosophical speculation or techno-futurist disruptors. They must be grounded in real experiences of real disabled people whose lives and bodies are a special testing ground for these ideas. The medical model of disability is often the default perspective and taught implicitly. It is implied that disabilities are something broken to fix, something to be minimized or designed away. The catalog I have been assembling pushes back on that assumption by collecting examples that show disability not just as a condition, but as a social, political, historical, and ethical reality that engineers are always participating in. Hopefully, by categorically collecting these examples, educators can elucidate these patterns to students and teach them instead how designs and disabilities can coexist. Being disabled is a normal part of the human condition, but since it is often associated with aging, many young able-bodied undergraduate students will need to be taught about the history and power dynamics that they are inheriting. The past is full of biomedical innovations that were explicitly tied to harm in disadvantaged and disabled populations. Eugenics-driven medical research, institutionalization, forced sterilization, and ugly laws, a law only nullified as late as 1976 that criminalized disabled people's presence in public spaces. These examples of institutionalized violence do not just live in the past. As recently as 2010, the Judge Rottenberg Center in Canton, Massachusetts was fitting mentally disabled children and young adults with custom electrical shock devices that would stay on their bodies at all times, including during their sleep, and deliver shock as a means of correcting behavior. This device was only officially banned by the FDA only 6 years ago. These devices were created by people like us. Without structural accountability and lived expertise, engineering can easily reproduce harm while claiming progress. Our catalog does not only discuss failures, it also includes examples of disabled innovators and their work, showing that disability is not a barrier to innovation. In fact, it is often the source of it. Including positive examples is important for me personally, since I've been disabled for over half of my life. I chose to study biomedical engineering because I've been privileged enough to experience the impact of well-designed technology and have seen firsthand that disabled people can live or die depending on whether they are supported or ignored. I have learned by experience that access to medical devices depends significantly on who is believed, prioritized, and who is included in the design process. We hope this catalog will integrate easily into existing curricula. It is currently being used to make modifications to content and BME design courses here at UC. It is a living catalog. There are new examples and stories every day, and I will continue to update it. It is one attempt to trace the through line of disability ethics and medical technology design from the past to the present day. Perhaps if we can use it to orient ourselves as we move into the future, tomorrow's engineers will be trained and empowered to do better. Thank you.